Hello friends, welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey. It has been a little bit since we did a good Cowboys rumor show. Done some other stuff in the meantime. And there's some good ones today and some that I can't not address. You know, we have to discuss them even though they're really not going to happen. Let's start though with more contract talk. That's kind of the main thing right now as we enter the boring period of the NFL calendar in late June, early July. Is a contract extension for Zeke Elliott not the priority? I'm going to give this one 3 stars. It's a priority, but it's not the priority, but I don't want to make it seem like the Cowboys are never going to re-sign Zeke, because frankly, we're all over the map right now in the past couple of months about what's going to happen with Zeke's contract. The Cowboys continue to say publicly, hey, we want to extend Elliott. Meanwhile, the latest report from ESPN is the Cowboys, well, they don't feel the urgency to extend Zeke Elliott this offseason, which, if you've been paying attention, also feels like the case for Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott. More on those two later on in the show. But I do buy it more from Zeke because, A, the Cowboys operate on the deadlines make deals philosophy, which I think has cost them money the past couple seasons. And Zeke does have 2 more years left on his deal, so there really isn't any major rush when you have him under control. You don't have to worry about him leaving next offseason like you do with Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott. Now back to the being all over the map side of things. The ESPN report says that Elliott's not going to get extended this season or maybe even next offseason, which is far too premature at this point. And remember, we also had the offseason reports of a possible holdout. That quickly went nowhere, and frankly, even those who thought it was going to happen have now given up on it. And the Cowboys have reportedly spoken with Zeke's camp and Zeke, and they're on the same page there. And I don't want to make any implication that Elliott isn't important to this roster, but Cooper and Dak are more important. Like, you take those two away, as we saw last year, as we've seen in recent years, without a number 1 receiver, without a number 1 quarterback, things look pretty gross. So who should Dallas re-sign first? Type D for Dak Prescott, Z for Zeke Elliott, A for Amari Cooper. My vote is D for Dak, although I will make note, you can make an argument for A for Amari Cooper. We'll break down why in just a little bit. But I don't want to hate on Zeke. He's not the priority the same way that the star quarterback and the star wide receiver are. All right, folks, shout-outs coming up here in a little bit on today's show. But what is your favorite food? Let me know in the comments section. If you know me, as many in the staff in the office do at Chat Sports, I'm a peanut butter fiend. I absolutely love it there. I will put it on almost anything, not truly anything. Someone suggested pickles and peanut butter. As someone who loves peanut butter and actually likes pickles, that doesn't sound intriguing to me whatsoever. Back to Amari Cooper, though. Does the price for him keep rising? I'm going to give this one 4 stars. And again, this is a very common theme in the NFL. The longer you wait for an extension, the more money it ends up costing you in the long run. Now, the Cowboys and Cooper definitely do want to get a long-term deal done. Meanwhile, the latest report out of New Orleans is that Michael Thomas wants $22 million per year. That's a lot of money. Now, I don't know if Michael Thomas actually ends up getting that amount, but what happens if Thomas settles for $2 million less at $20 million, which I think is very reasonable? Cooper, well, now his price tag just went up. Now, I do want to make it clear, it does take 2 sides to get a deal done, and I don't know if Cooper is, urging and rushing to get a contract done, but neither are the Cowboys. I think that's been very clear in their entire offseason the past few seasons. Now, in terms of the highest paid receiver per year, $18 million kind of feels like the going rate for all of the guys that are going to be due for new contracts, even if almost at the minimum. The previous minimum last summer was $16 million for Sammy Watkins. Now it's a year later, salaries have gone up, the cap has risen, and Beckham got $18 million. If the Cowboys wait for Michael Thomas to get his deal done, and let's just say he goes for $2 million less than he's asking for, but still $2 million more than Odell Beckham, now the benchmark is $20 million. All of a sudden, $19 million for Amari Cooper feels like a steal because you waited instead of getting the deal done now when maybe you could get it done for 18. Not saying it's a guaranteed thing, but it's at least a possibility there. And remember, the longer the Cowboys wait, the more expensive it gets. 3 notable players up for new deals, or at least have had discussions around new deals. Michael Thomas, last year of his contract, he's fantastic, except when the Cowboys were playing it. Julio Jones, he's a fantastic receiver, of course. He has 2 more years left on his deal, but he's made it very clear he wants to get the bag. And A.J. Green, yeah, less yards because he was hurt last year, but he's also up for a new contract. So hopefully the Cowboys get something done soon with Amari Cooper, because otherwise it's going to be some more sticker shock there on the contract side of things. Remember how I mentioned rumors we have to discuss I can't ignore? Here's one of them. How about trading Dak Prescott? I'm going to give this one fake news because the Cowboys aren't going to do it. That's not their MO. USA Today threw out the idea of the Cowboys should trade Dak Prescott, also said, and I quote, the Cowboys left with no other option but to shop Prescott. I feel like the author didn't know what the phrase no other means because that's exactly the opposite of what's going on here. Now, the claim is that Dak isn't worth a big contract and they should trade him for picks and someone like Jameis Winston. On the actual realistic side, the Cowboys don't want to do this. But also, this is not a good trade package. Why would the Cowboys want Jameis Winston, a worse quarterback? Ooh, yes, you get some first-round picks back that maybe they're top 20, maybe they aren't there. And not only that, totally ignored by everybody in this entire conversation, Jameis Winston cost $21 million this year. That's too much. The Cowboys don't have the cap space to afford it. Now they can extend it and do whatever, but why would the Cowboys take on a worse quarterback for more money? It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. So I don't think this makes sense. I think there is some kernel of truth here in the overall idea of, hey, maybe an NFL team should try to, go against the grain and not overpay for a quarterback or not, bow down to the outlandish salaries quarterbacks are demanding because that's how the NFL works these days. I don't know if the Cowboys, though, are the right team, and it's certainly not going after Jameis Winston because then you're stuck with this. Do you want to pay Jameis Winston like $30 million? The answer is probably no. And then you're left kind of caught in no man's land where you're picking like 15, 16 because you're not making the playoffs with Winston versus Dak. And if you do, you're like maybe the first team to get eliminated. And then all of a sudden you're stuck with, well, we can't get up in the draft, and then you're stuck in quarterback purgatory again. It just doesn't make sense for the Cowboys. Now, this was certainly an unpopular opinion. So I want you guys to send me your Cowboys unpopular opinions. This will be a safe space in an upcoming show. We'll be nice. And I want unpopular opinions, none of those Twitter BS where you call for unpopular opinions and then the most retweeted like ones are actually very popular opinions, i.e. your unpopular opinion cannot be bench Jeff Heath. Like that's not an unpopular opinion. It could be something involving getting rid of Dak Prescott. That qualifies. And once you guys send me yours, I'll show you mine as well when it comes to Cowboys unpopular opinions. Moving now on with some more Cowboys rumors. Oh, look, we're in the middle of late June, and we're back with the Sean Payton stuff. How about Sean Payton or Lincoln Riley as next head coach? Kind of two rumors merged into one here. I'll give it 2 stars. It's certainly plausible, and those two will definitely be at the top of the Cowboys head coaching candidate list. The Sean Payton one comes from the Dallas Morning News because, again, folks, late June, you want article traffic? Throw Sean Payton and Cowboys together in a headline. There's always going to be Sean Payton and Cowboys speculation. I don't know what purpose it serves right now, but I'll make the point I've made several times before. If and when the Cowboys fire Jason Garrett, Sean Payton is the number 1 name on that list. Now, that's easier said than done in terms of getting him, but the Cowboys love Sean Payton. Sean Payton likes Dallas. There's at least some semblance there and some background work there. All right, then we go to Marcus Spears here. That's a blast from the past name for you Cowboys fans. He says that Lincoln Riley makes a lot of sense as Jason Garrett's inevitable replacement, and he also does, which is very accurate, Oklahoma coaches Cowboys head coach. That is always a rumor. Heck, if and when Garrett gets fired, you'll probably see Bob Stoops' name thrown out there again, even though he's not going to take the job, and then the Cowboys could find a better option anyway. So Spears has a point there, and frankly, if any NFL team could actually lure Lincoln Riley away from a fantastic job at Oklahoma, the Cowboys actually might be that squad. But I want to hear from you guys. If Jason Garrett is fired, who should be Dallas's head coach? You mentioned the two of the most popular names. Of course, Chris Richard also on that list. Let me know if it's one of those 3 or if you have somebody else in mind down in the comments section. Back to another rumor that I said we couldn't not mention about bringing back Dez Bryant. I can't totally 100% rule it out, so as I've done for months now, I'll give it the 1 star. But, don't get your hopes up here at all, really. The claim from FanSided, by the way, is that bringing back Dez would help fix the red zone offense, which that works in the dream world. Here's the problem, though. We already tried that last year. We tried it back in 2017. It didn't work. For whatever reason, Dak and Dez Bryant just never had the same chemistry that Dez and Tony Romo did. That's fine. It happens. So why would you want to bring back Dez? And frankly, where does Dez fit on this offense? You're going to try and make him into a red zone threat? That's kind of partially why you brought back Jason Witten there. And who are you playing Dez over? Certainly not Amari Cooper. Are you giving him reps over Michael Gallup? I kind of think I want to see what Gallup develops into, knowing that Dez coming off the Achilles is not the same guy he ever was in his prime, let alone what he was back in 2017. Randall Cobb, I think I'd rather give Cobb the reps at this point. That leaves Dez Bryant as your number 4 receiver, who doesn't help on special teams, by the way, and clearly had issues as well with other players on this current Cowboys team. So, look, I believe the Cowboys made a mistake by dumping Dez Bryant, but I also don't think that they should bring him back. I don't think it makes sense anymore for either sides involved. And if Dez wants to have a longer NFL career, he needs to go play the slot. I don't think that's going to happen in Dallas with Randall Cobb now in town at $5 million, by the way. So let me know what you guys think, though. Should the Cowboys bring back Dez? Type 1 for yes, type 0 for no. Final rumor of the day. This one, by the way, straight fact. The Cowboys have the best fans. 4-star on this one. Once again from Emory University, or as Raiders Report host Mitchell Renz calls them, the business school at University of Emory. They were ranked as the Cowboys. They ranked the Cowboys as the best fans out there. This is based on fan spending, which they call fan equity, social media following, and basically how well the fans show up for road games involving the Cowboys. Basically, do other fans show up to watch the Cowboys? The answer to all of those is well, duh, and that's why the Cowboys won the best fan base in the NFL. Now, it's probably better for this individual study to think of it as like the best brand, and that very much checks out with the top 5 of the Cowboys, of course, at number 1, because this is America, and the Cowboys are America's team. The Patriots at number 2, the Eagles at 3, the Giants at 4, and the Steelers at 5. But, I mean, you guys know the answer. Of course the Cowboys are the best fan base in the NFL. You guys are the best fans. That's why you're subscribed to us here on YouTube. Link's right there below. Make sure you're subscribed for all the best Cowboys coverage here on YouTube. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.